Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Division C tonight. This is NGS Season 11. We are in Week 2. My name is Isaacs, and I am excited to bring you another matchup we got here tonight between Lurk Patrol and Nature's Way. So two teams that have already gone. I believe both teams have had a week 1 showing already, being that we are sitting here in the second week, but I am not entirely sure how the standings in C West are turning up. Probably should have done a little bit of homework before we got started, but you know what? Let's just do it by the seat of our pants. Look at these teams. I did a couple other C West teams before, so we could see how those ones are doing. Sorry, you know what? I am completely wrong. C West is tomorrow night. This is A. What am I talking about? We are in Division A tonight. We are all the way up in Division A. This is Lurk Patrol between versus Nature's Cure in Division A. And Nature's Cure, here we go. Lurk Patrol, they have not played a match yet, or at least not have uploaded a score yet. They may have had a week 1 bye due to an odd number of teams, but Nature's Cure, they did play in week 1. They ended up dropping that series 2-1, and so they ended up winning one of the maps, but ultimately lost the series. So they're looking to get another win or get their first win here tonight. Meanwhile, the Lurk Patrol, they're looking at their first game of the season, ready to get going. So let's get you guys over to the map overview so you can kind of see what is playing out for tonight as far as the series go. The first the coin toss was won by the side of Lurk Patrol, and they elected to get our first pick. They wanted first hero pick. So Nature's Cure started off our ban rotations. They banned out Braxis and Volskaya. Lurk Patrol banned out Altaric Pass and Cursed Hollow. And so Nature's Cure picked up Garden of Terror as the first map. Garden of Terror being that new map that is in rotation in NGS this season. Being picked up, we're going to see it here in this first map of the series. Making sure everybody is getting locked in. It looks like we were waiting on one last person to get in here before we started going. Now we're all here. Everybody looks like they're ready. I'm getting ready. These teams are on time, ready to start swinging at each other. I apologize saying that we are in C. We are not in C tonight. I get, when I start signing up for multiple casts, I start mixing them all up together, and we are in A tonight. So get ready for some good action. These are two pretty solid teams that are going to be duking it out here. Do not know if these teams know each other. I know a few of these people just from Heroes Lounge, and that's or from Storm League, I apologize, and that is it. So I know a few of what they like to play. LP are all Smurfs who should be in Nexus Division, is what MFCO is saying in chat right now. So maybe we'll see a strong showing by Lurk Patrol tonight, but we see a TLV ban and we see a Maiev ban coming out as well. TLV can do some serious soaking on this map, being it's a 3-lane map and there's a lot of pressure that can be put on in the macro game around those terrors and when those objectives come online. Maiev, a good Maiev, I always say this, I'm not an assassin main, I'm a tank main, but when I play assassin, if there's a Maiev on the other team who knows what they're doing, it makes my life hell. So Maiev getting a ban out here. Chromie and Rexar seeing their bans. Chromie's a very strong meta pick right now in the meta. Rexar, it's one of his better maps. It's not his best maps. We usually see like the Braxis holdout, the Dragonshire being the maps that we really see Rexar come online with. But this is another one where Rexar can, be close enough that he can get a lot of camp pressure and be able to pick up a lot of lane XP as well. So Rexar getting a ban out here, and we see Hanzo first pick, which I love whenever I get to cast these higher divisions because we get to see the higher skilled champions come online. Hanzo typically not seen a lot in the lower divisions just because that playing around that W, that scatter arrow, it's really difficult to land in somebody who just doesn't have the time invested into Hanzo or maybe doesn't have the mechanics. But in a good Hanzo is just something really fun to see. So I'm excited to see this Hanzo come out. Meanwhile, Johanna not seeing a ban, so he gets picked up. First pick over here by Lurk Patrol, and Johanna being picked up as well. So that's going to be a very beefy front line, in addition to having the dive potential with Hager going into the back line. Johanna being that front line, could throw out the Blessed Shield. We'll see if they decide to pair it with an Anduin, depending on what the back line that comes out of the side of Nature's Way is. But right now, a really good counter response to the Hanzo there. The Iron Skin being able to negate a lot of the damage coming out of the Dragon Arrow. But I've seen a lot of Dragon Strike Hanzos lately. This is a great map for Dragon Strike with zoning potential, so we'll see how they play that matchup. Diablo and Artanis being picked up by the side of Nature's Cure. Diablo, good, close quarter combat, so an APOC is much easier to land on this map than the more open maps. Artanis being able to apply that global pressure with the blind, and also being able to pick some of those initiations. Unfortunately, Hagar and Johanna are two swaps you don't necessarily want to get, so we'll see what the backline of Lurk Patrol decides to be, but we do see the Ana getting banned out here as well. Again, Ana, one of those very good skill shot dependent champions. We see the respect bans in these higher divisions just because in the right hands, those champions can be deadly. Tychus being banned out as well due to the Diablo Artanis pickup. Tychus, that tank shredder coming out. Give me a high five. Give me high five, Lucio Ektar. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty good one. You could time it. You could actually bait in an Artanis really easily with the potential high five. But we do see the Anduin. I was wondering if the Anduin was going to come out, possibly a Falling Sword Johanna. I don't imagine it right now. We still don't know what the backline all entails from the side of Nature's Cure here, since they don't have, they picked up the Zul'jin, so they do have a little bit of a tank shredder. Maybe they did not decide to go with the Uther here. Uther would have been nice for a little bit more peel in the backline. Maybe we see something a little more crowd control heavy that's not necessarily tanky, like a Stukov or a Deckard. We do see the Stukov being picked up here, and Alarak lining, rounding that composition out. So Alarak's going to be looking to get a lot of those burst damage down to the backline of the side of Lurk Patrol here, sorry, but he's gonna have to wait a little bit to get that damage to come online, and it's gonna be tough to get that, those early kills, get that that passive starting to stack up there. And so we're still waiting to see what mage player is gonna come out, electing not to go with the mage, electing to go with Illidan into an Artanis, which again, it's not necessarily unforgivable because Artanis' blind only lasts a certain amount of time. But Illidan, again, one of those weaker champions in the early game, going to take a little time to scale online. So Alarak is going to have a fun time with that Illidan. So, looking at these comps right now, it's going to come down to execution. I like the fighting potential around the objective that we're seeing come out of Nature's Cure, but I like the dive potential and the late scaling that comes out of the side of Lurk Patrol as well. So if Lurk Patrol, I have the team name. So, you know what? They set it up. I just noticed that. Yeah, they did. When they're set it up, they set up the wrong sides. Lurk Patrol is supposed to be the home team. Thankfully, I have a button that can switch that really quickly there. Thanks for catching that in the chat. Yeah, they're supposed to, Lurk Patrol's home team, they're supposed to be on blue side, and they accidentally set it up with Lurk Patrol being the away team here. So, got it flipped. Let's get you guys into the game real quick, get these things going. Thankfully, it's pretty easy to switch these teams back and forth. So now we have Nature's Cure being the home team tonight. So Nature's Cure on the blue side. We've got Enigma sitting on the Zul'jin, Sailwater sitting on the Illidan, Heroesplifix sitting on the Endo, he keeps moving. Noel Sanka sitting on the Hagar, and the J Ruck is sitting on the Johanna. Meanwhile, on the side of Lurk Patrol, it's really going to throw me off. Ektar is sitting on the Stukov, Gunny sitting on that Hanzo, Harnock sitting on that Artanis, SBS Nate on the Diablo, and we got Ace sitting on that Alarak. Again, Himmy Boy, thank you so much for catching that in the chat. I'm glad that some of these players can recognize those things, because I wouldn't have caught that, and I would have played this whole game with each team on the wrong side. But getting into LP has a 100% win rate on the away side, so yeah, maybe they're looking to just get that. But we already see a little bit of skirmishing. The side of Lurk Patrol, they don't want to pick too many fights here. Want to deny that Zul'jin his stackability as much as they can. But we already see Hagar diving in a little too deeply there. Alarak getting some nice damage down onto the Hagar. Hagar's gonna have to back up, heal himself. He'll get some health from that fountain. He'll rotate up into that top lane and just be dandy. Meanwhile, we're gonna see the Illidan versus the Alarak skill matchup in the bottom lane. Illidan is gonna be able to bully him around if he is able to dodge a lot of the damage and pulls that Alarak is going to be doing. So we'll keep our eye on that bot lane, but if Alarak's able to land those combos, Illidan's going to have a rough time around in the bot lane. Meanwhile, we're going to see that Hagar and Artanis matchup in the top lane. Both are just going to kind of slap around each other a little bit. Artanis does have a little bit of advantage. That Hagar did have to take the fountain, so we can see if he gets some early pressure, but Hanzo rotating up so Artanis can go and start doing the camps. Artanis taking the stacking, it looks like. No, sorry, he did go for that amateur opponent. in the level 1, but we do see Alarak having a very good time with this Illidan in this early game. Remember, Illidan's damage isn't necessarily the best early. It will come online later. Alarak does. It seems to be landing a lot of those combinations here, but we see most of these teams just rotating, starting to pick up their camps, trying to get them on as best a timer as they possibly can here, which is what Garden of Terror is pretty much all about. Being able to get these camps down pat, get your timers, make sure that you get this mercenary camp here in the bot lane on the timer that you want to get it. The side right now it's favoring the red side with the camp. They will be able to pick this up, hopefully get it on a timer when this first objective comes online. Meanwhile, both teams gonna meet in that mid lane, try to push out each other's lane. We see Nature's Cure getting a little bit of that advantage right now. Bankai coming in, giving the cheer. 69, how appropriate. Thanks, Bankai. Love the cheers. We do see this Hogger coming in, gonna try and bully this Artanis off the point. Hanzo is here to provide some support, so the Hogger does need to eventually get going. Hogger popping the unstoppable, get himself away. Nice angles there to get himself to safety. Hanzo following it up. Will he be able to land that last Q? Doesn't have it online. Will not be able to hit it. First objective is online. Each team just providing a lot of map pressure right now, looking like they don't want to fight over it. Diablo getting fairly low. Johanna actually landing that condemn and pulling Diablo out, but Stukov there for the heal. Hanzo pathing very aggressively there and ends up getting popped. Even though all members on Nature's Cure are very low on the mana, Hanzo came through. Looked like he wanted to jump over the wall, thought he could be able to get that off with the passive there, but did not respect the Johanna condemn, the Anduin root, and ends up getting himself picked off. So that's a good kill coming out from Nature's Cure. Meanwhile, we're seeing the Artanis kind of rotate himself down. Each team, again, just wanting to get that soak, trying to get to that level 7 before we see anything really start to develop over this objective. We still see this camp being held by the side of Nature's Cure, not wanting to pick it up, didn't get it on the timer. You know, like we said, it's not in an advantageous position for them to get a split push with it. Johanna just trying to be that frontline bully that we knew she was going to be. Artanis hitting the swap onto the Johanna. The silence pull coming out of Stukov was fantastic. Johanna had to run the other way. The pull coming out from the Alarak, a nice pull from the Anduin there to save the life, and Alarak does trade his life trying to get that kill. They go 1 for 1 on the Hogger. Artanis having to run. Illidan's now in the mix, getting some damage down. The swap lands onto that Illidan, so Artanis can try and run, but he's down to 160. He will go down. Diablo landing the flip onto Johanna, but Anduin lands a nice root there, and that's going to be 3 kills going in favor of Nature's Cure. This will be their objective. Nice early game coming out from Nature's Cure there. Like I said, they didn't necessarily have the strongest early game with the Illidan, but the Illidan showing that he can do some of that work, jumping in at the right time, getting that pick onto the Alarak there was kind of huge in regards to what they're able to provide. Now we do see Nature's Cure going over and picking out their camp. Gonna get this hopefully on the timer. Meanwhile, we do see mid lane, the Alarak, the Artanis going into land swap, doesn't land. If that had landed onto the Johanna with the Iron Skin off, ooh, Zul'jin popping that to get himself fairly low, maybe trying to bait in the Hanzo there. Hanzo had some burst damage. Johanna getting in. She does not have the Iron Skin since it was popped earlier. That is a death over on the Johanna there. And Zul'jin, I don't know, maybe he was trying to bait the Hanzo in there, popping it that passive, getting himself all the way down to like quarter HP. But the you know, eventually Johanna had to come back out without the Iron Skin to try and save the life of that Zul'jin, and traded her own for that. So we see the camp being picked up again on the side of Lurk Patrol, but we see a pretty nice advantage in the experience game, about a 3/4 level lead coming out. Illidan going down, he's gonna get these camps. He doesn't care so much. They have the first objective. Again, he wants to wait for 10, but now he's rotating up. His team's calling him up, saying, hey, we got a little bit of advantage. Alarak having to use the passive to get himself out. A nice pull by the Anduin, does not have that available. Again, Johanna did pop the Iron Skin. So we do see everybody just kind of sitting around here. Diablo looking to try and get that right angle to get some of those stuns. Hanzo just trying to poke a lot. The swap comes in. He does land the stun onto the Zul'jin. Illidan jumping in on the Hanzo. Hanzo jumping over the wall. Hogger just getting in there doing ping pong, trying to do as much damage as he can. Johanna pops the Iron Skin again in the back line. Everybody getting low, but Hogger does trade his life away. Johanna doing everything she can to keep her team in this, but Johanna gets knocked over by Diablo, will trade her life for the kill of the Artanis player. Illidan jumping in, gets the 10s online. Illidan going in for the hunt. A nice combo coming out of the Alarak there. A second and third pickup coming out. Illidan just trying to get in. Light bomb going down. He's not able to get close enough to the Alarak to land it, and Alarak coming in Big plays coming in from this guy right here, getting his rightful flower for that quadra kill coming out of the Alarak. Huge plays coming out of this guy. And Ace getting the ace, appropriately named. And the Lurk Patrol looking like they're getting right back into this game. That was a nice series for them to get themselves back into this game, back in the driver's seat, so to speak. Hogger being a little aggressive here, getting this camp, doesn't know where the side of Lurk Patrol is. He's got to be careful. He can clear it very fast, but Hanzo's coming down. Hanzo does see him. He's trying to call in the cavalry, lands a W, but he can't sit on the point with Hogger. Hogger picking up the can, Hanzo has to run. Look at that. Hogger just with 2 skills is able to get Hanzo down to, 2/3 of his health. We do see another combo coming out of the Alarak. Johanna landing the W. Unstoppable popped by the Alarak for the counter-strike, but he does get stunned out by the Blessed Shield. He will go down there. Artanis. I got too many A's on the side of Lurk Patrol, but Artanis getting himself in. Life Bomb goes down onto the Illidan, stunning out that Diablo. Unfortunately, the Silence Pool from Stukov will not do anything. Thankfully, Diablo has the souls, and he will be coming back online. But another good fight picked by the side of Nature's Cure right around the objective timing, so they should have no problem with the setup of the 5v4 around this objective. Meanwhile, Hogger, he's on a quest. He wants to just get every camp. He's got the ability. We do see Lurk Patrol. They know he's here. They've seen it already. The Unstoppable is popped. He's just bouncing around, bouncing around, bouncing around. Is he going to get himself out of this? No way. No way. Oh my god, Hogger. Oh, no, the Hanzo. Yes, the Anduin. Okay, I was like, there's the... Did he DC? Oh, no. He DC'd. Oh, no. We've got to pause. I got to get us back over to the map interview. That is so unfortunate. That was like the best escape. I did not think Hogger was going to get himself out of that. Oh no, that's so terrifying. He got himself completely out of that 4v1 situation, was able to get away, and then he DC'd. And so he ended up getting killed. I was wondering why he was just standing there after the Anduin yeet, but oh man. All right, making sure we'll get everybody back online, but I mean, good. I like what this Hogger's being super aggressive, and I like it. Looks like we got readies from both teams back here, so we're just waiting for this to get started here, and we will get you back into this game shortly. And both teams given the ready here. And here we go. But Hogger is dead. He's going to be down for a little bit of time. The camp was picked up on the side of Lurk Patrol, which did not get affected by the DC. They had that camp pretty handily. Just the Hogger was able to get himself away. And so we're going to be seeing the top lane getting pushed in. Johanna doing what she can. She has pretty decent wave clear. She did not go with that Empowered Condemn at level 4. She went with the blinds due to the fact that we do have a Hanzo. They're holding this camp for the timer, trying to get it right when this objective comes online. Sorry, I got a hiccup there. Right when this objective comes online, Stukov picking it up now. Artanis just doing what he can to get some vision up on that top camp. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Alarak putting some serious damage on. Sadism, unfortunately, with that death Alarak had, he's lost a little bit. But he should continue to be able to stack himself back up, get some serious damage into this team. We've already seen some massive plays coming out of him in the earlier game. He should continue to just deliver as this game gets longer, get some more stacks. But Hogger is here. This objective is going to be the actual pickup for the side of Nature's Cure, so we do need Lurk Patrol to potentially contest this if they want. 13s are online now for both teams. Lurk Patrol seems like they were just waiting for that to come online. They do have pressure in that mid lane. We don't see anybody necessarily biting Nate, but FPS Nate, he's low on the souls. He's only at 35, so he's not the tankiest Diablo that we have seen yet. He should be able to get himself a little bit more soul stacks if he's able to get in that off lane while the rest of his team pops off. But we do see Artanis just dashing in, not really wanting to land slap. Hasn't gotten the right swap that he's looking for. The APOC is going down to Johanna. The counter-strike lands by the Alarak, but he is in away from his team. He is going to go down. Meanwhile, Hanzo going down one-on-one by Zul'jin in the backline. And so that is 2 kills onto both DPS from the side of Nature's Cure, And so they are in a very good spot. As long as the Illidan can keep alive, they should be able to just shred through the remaining of the team. That's 3 kills. Ektar will go down. No, he's keeping himself alive. 4, 5. That is a full ace. Nice combos coming out of Nature's Cure, getting the full ace there, getting one in return for themselves. Zul'jin getting a triple kill, and that is objective being picked up by the side. This is great push pressure because of the fact that nobody is alive. These Garden Terrors are going to be pretty healthy after they kill all 3 of these forts. The mid lane is going to be the focus right now. The Gardens are going to be pushing the hardest in that mid lane. Looks like with the siege camp in the top, unfortunately there's no minions there, but mid is where you want to defend. Alarak getting caught out there and ends up trading his life away. Maybe the stun came out by the end. I go top lane for a second just to look at the health, and Alarak getting himself caught out. So a staggered death again, and we do have another pause. Looks like Stukov did get a disconnect there. Getting some of the kinks laid out, like, you know, it seems like this week there's just been so many different internet. Let me get you guys over to the map so you can see what's going on. Sorry. You know, there's so many different connection issues that's going on right now. But it looks like they thought that there was possibly a disconnect from the Alarak there, but Alarak say, actually guys, I didn't disconnect. I know you guys can't see the chat right now, but both these teams looking like they're having a lot of playful banter going on. These teams seem pretty familiar with each other. Probably had a couple scrims before. You know, again, when you get up to these higher divisions in Storm League, a lot of these people are familiar. Like I said, I recognize a couple of these names from Storm League, so they, you know, they can joke back and forth and throw all these things. So we're just waiting for the pause to come back online, probably from Texas getting thrown out in the chat. Yeah, unfortunately, my team ended up having to cancel the tournament we were in this last weekend because our guy from Texas was a no-show. So that was unfortunate, but you know, it happens. Texas is doing wonderful things to pretty much the online community right now. It seems like last week and a good chunk of this week as well. There's just been a lot of having to be postponed. I had a match last week that I was supposed to cast twice, and it was postponed twice, and now it's being postponed all the way till next week. So, you know, we'll get that in. That was, I believe, was a or not storm division, a heroic division match between Los Popochas team and who are they playing? I don't remember. Kyrix Tempest. That's right. So hopefully we'll be able to pick that one up. But I do apologize for all of these delays, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, sometimes it happens. It's when it rains, it pours kind of deal. But again, you know, I can go over some of these talents right now. You know, you guys can't see what's going on screen, but I could talk about, you know, the stacks right now. Zul'jin's sitting on 60 stacks. So yeah, Zul'jin is just, he's loving life right now. He is doing so much damage. Oh, we got the readies coming out. We are going to get back into this game here. We got the garden. We have unfortunately, so when they went off, the Hanzo was in sight, so they were able to see the Hanzo during the entire thing, but Illidan diving a little too aggressively there. Nice Iron Skin pop by the Johanna to make sure she doesn't eat that Dragon's Arrow right under the tower. So a good pickup for the side of Lurk Patrol, you know, with that Hanzo being in vision and Illidan being like, dude, when we, you know, return from the break, I've got, nice swap by the Artanis on Johanna. She does not have Iron Skin up quite yet. If Diablo could just get this flip, he unfortunately cannot hog her, doing the Hortipult to get himself in. Nice Hortipult, putting down that, you know, that's a really good hogger play, putting down that impossible barrier, so there was really no follow-up onto the Johanna there. But all the keeps were saved. You know, considering all these Garden Terrors were coming in at pretty much full health with all the forts gone, that's a pretty good defense, you know. I'm gonna say good defense out of Lurk Patrol. They are only about a level down. It's a lot, but they can get on even talent tiers pretty quickly. They have 3, you know, objectives to get there, so they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. But going into the Zul'jin stacks, like I said, he's sitting really happy on the stacks. We Mal Alarak, he's not as happy as he wants to be yet. Diablo just finishing off his soul, so he will be a very tanky Diablo that can come back into these fights if he goes down. So right now, all teams are just going to be trying to get as many camps as they can. The side of Lurk Patrol, they're going to be trying to get their 16s online, and then now they are. So they aren't even talent tiers. Now they just got to find a fight that works well for them before level 20. Find a good fight, rotate as 5, see if they can find a pick. Alarak sees the Illidan there. He's calling like, hey guys, come in here. I've got vision on this Illidan. The team is rotating down. Unfortunately, Illidan's sensing that team is coming down, gets himself out of a hairy situation, and the camp is picked up by the side of Lurk Patrol. But yeah, pretty much Lurk Patrol, they're looking to get any sort of advantageous fight, some sort of pick onto the back line of the side of Nature's Cure. Nature's Cure's front line is very hard to pass through, so Johanna doing just an excellent job being that tank line. Artanis not able to land any of these swaps. If Artanis can get one of these critical swaps, that would be pretty huge for the team. Hortipult going in. Hogger is very deep, getting some damage down onto this Hanzo. He is right next to him. The Hunt coming in onto the Hanzo there, and that is a dead, deleted Hanzo. Illidan now in the backline. Ektar on the Stukov trying to do everything he can, but he's getting body blocked in all sorts of directions. They are saying no go there, and that Stukov will go down. Puck being popped by the Diablo there, but it's too little too late. The Artanis does go down. Diablo gets knocked back and will trade his life, and this is an open keep, open core with 3 members down for about 30 more seconds. This has got a minion wave. This could very well be GG's game number 1 going in favor of Nature's Way. It would be a pretty heroic defense from the Diablo and Alarak. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. This will be game 1 in favor of Nature's Way, taking out the early 1-0 lead here. Sorry, I keep saying Nature's Way. It's Nature's Cure. I don't know why I keep saying Nature's Way. But all right, GG coming out. Look at the Zul'jin's damage. Look at the absolute insane amount of damage. That was, ladies and gentlemen, that was like looking at my, that was like a 14-minute game, I believe. Like 13, 14-minute game. And that Zul'jin popped out 74,000 damage. If you want a clinic on how to stack up and do some damage on Zul'jin, you just got it. That was insane, the amount of damage. And the Illidan, I mean, the Illidan did his job. He was being just a menace in that back line. Alarak and Hanzo were like, guys, I need help. Diablo just wasn't able to engage and also peel. The Artanis isn't the best peeler. Like, he just isn't. So they had a lot of, like, we have to pick the fight coming out of Lurk Patrol. And it was such a heavy front line coming out of Nature's Cure that they couldn't get to that Zul'jin. And Zul'jin just was having a ball sitting back there, stacking himself up and able to pump out a massive amount of damage. That Light Bomb Hunt combo from the Illidan Anduin was pretty awesome to be seen. That way the Johanna could go with the Blessed Shield and use the ultimate for peel if it needed to happen. But that was a pretty awesome game 1 coming out there. Nothing really too crazy that I'm seeing coming out of the Townsville. Diablo going with that favored auto attack build right now. It's pretty strong. Getting the GGs coming out. We're looking over. It looks like the side of Lurk Patrol are going to go for first pick again. So game number 2, it looks like we're heading over to Infernal Shrines for game number 2. Picked up again. You know what? Why did I say red? It's not red. I got to change these. That's the one bad thing about... there we go, because they're on blue side. Nature's Cure was the one that ended up picking. So when I hit swap teams, it didn't necessarily swap the bands there. So Nature's Cure did get the first map pick, won the first game, and now are getting the second map pick as well. And make sure I get into this game. Make sure they don't swap teams on me again. I got to pull up their roster to make sure. What is going on? Hold on. Yeah, Ace. No, so what happens in Seuss there is, Lurk Patrol. Now you guys swapping on me again? Ace, aren't you on Lurk Patrol? You're on Lurk Patrol. Oh, man, you're swapping on me again, aren't you? Ay caramba. Okay, I got to get this all figured out right now. Looks like the teams are swapping back. They're making the caster's day a nightmare. All right, so hold on. Let me swap these teams real quick. Get back over here. Swap all this around again. I'm getting caster cursed hard here. They are just trolling me left and right. All right. So now we've got Lurk Patrol rightfully on the blue side, like it was supposed to be. Nature's Cure is back on red side. Red side is, let me double check, triple check all these settings, make sure I got them all up. Okay, so Nature's Cure, yes, they picked Garden of Terror. They won Garden of Terror. First pick, Lurk Patrol on the blue side wanted first pick, and so Nature's Cure going with Infernal Shrines. We are in Infernal Shrines. We now have Lurk Patrol on their side they're supposed to be on. We have Nature's Cure on their side. I am ready. Are these two teams ready? Looks like these two teams are both ready as well. And we should get game number 2 underway here shortly. I wonder if we're going to see any potential change in ban strategies. That Johanna, I mean, Johanna is going to come out pretty strong on this map. Hogger's strong on this map as well. So I don't think you can let that Johanna Hogger combo go through a second game. Personally, just what I saw out of what that Hogger and Johanna were able to do. I mean, that was a pretty good combo there, and that they gave Zul'jin. But again, I mean, you can't give Zul'jin a Johanna and a Hogger, but you can't ban it all out. So it's gonna be interesting to see if there is any change. Lurk Patrol not changing their first ban, getting rid of TLV right away. Again, 3-lane maps are TLV specialties. We see them a lot on Infernal Shrines, Cursed Hollow, Garden of Terror. Those 2-lane maps, a little less. Just they're not as much value, but we see a Maev coming out yet again. So same bands, same positions coming out from both scenes. Aha, there's the Hogger nod. We do see Hogger getting the respect ban this time. Not going to see the Knoll on Infernal Shrines this time, and rightfully so. That Hogger was causing so much havoc in game 1. And a Chromie ban, again, rightfully so, coming out. And we see first pick. All right, so they got rid of the Hogger, and they said, we want the Johanna. So that entire front line that Nature's Cure just had, one's banned, the other's picked up by the other team. So they're going to have to come up with something completely different. And the Rexar was the one ban that wasn't changed. So we see Rexar getting picked up here in game 2 with an Uther. So we see two pretty beefy guys. There may be another tank here, so we could see a Tychus pick up in this second rotation, not wanting to risk it getting banned, but we also may see a potential Malthael play coming out. Rexar, Malthael does fairly well, not as well into Rexar as some of the other off-laners, but he will be able to counter Uther. Uther will be able to pick that D shield up if he decides to go with that last right. So we'll see. It's not going to be Malthael. It's going to be Divas, and they don't pick up the Tychus. They go with the Kel'Thas instead. So they're waiting to see what these other picks are going to come out from the side of Nature's Cure. Electing to go with the Diva, which is a much safer commitment in the early game than a Malthael, and does a little better into that Rexar matchup than a Malthael will. And then we see the Kel'Thas coming out, being able to provide a lot of that just boom damage around the objective. Seeing these massive AoE champions around objectives is just awesome when you're dealing a map like Infernal Shrines. Cassia getting banned out here from the side of Nature's Cure, and we're waiting to see what Lurk Patrol decides to throw out as well. Potentially tank ban, or if they don't want to potentially give Zul'jin over to the opposing team. Although they do have the Johanna, so maybe they're not worried as much about the Zul'jin. Diablo, okay. Diablo does, again, fairly well when you're all grouped up fighting over an objective. So, and there's a lot more walls on this map. Not than the last map. Garden of Terror has way more walls, but more on this map than some other maps that we typically see, especially around the objective fights. So Diablo, a pretty good ban. Taking a drink of water real quick. Taking a glass of water. Jeez Louise. But we do see the Zul'jin end up getting picked up. So Zul'jin, again, he does do a lot of damage, as we saw in the last game. But Johanna is typically one of those champions that does counter the Zul'jin a little more with that blinding shield coming out. You can trait for it and make Zul'jin have a difficult time stacking up. So it's going to be a little harder. We may not see as much stacking coming out of the Zul'jin in this game. It will be later before he starts to do as much damage as we saw in the previous game when there was no blinds for the Zul'jin. But we do see a Zarya and a Lucio finalizing that combination coming out of the side. So this is a hypercarry Kel'Thas. He does have pretty significant damage from the Zarya and the Diva as long as Zarya is able to keep her shields up. And they will have a pretty good protect the Kel'Thas comp as well. So Kel'Thas is going to be doing a lot of the carrying in some of these team fights. Diva and Zarya will be able to get their blows in as well, and a lot of shields, which they have there is no variant, it looks like, going to be coming out. So they go with the Jaina instead, getting that mage. I don't know. I'm going to put a question mark on the Jaina pick. I like Jaina. This is coming from a Jaina man. I love Jaina. I'm not seeing a ton outside of the crowd control utility that comes out of the water elemental and the peel. If Uther goes in and gets a really good 3-man stun, if that's the way Uther decides to go, then maybe I could see the Ring of Frost combo coming out. But yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of a question mark on the Jaina, just because I think there potentially were better mage choices available, but if Jaina's your comfort pick, if Stalewater's really, really good at Jaina, then heck, go with something that you know you're really, really good at. Why not? And Water Elemental late in the game, again with the Zul'jin, that Winter's Mute that's going to come out at level 20 is going to just cause so many problems with the crowd control it can put out and the damage. So let's get these two teams introduced. Now we've got Lurk Patrol on the blue side. We got Gunny sitting on the Kael'thas, Ektar sitting on the Lucio, High Def on the Diva, Ace on that Zarya, and FPS Nate sitting on that Johanna. We've got the J Ruckus sitting on the Uther, Enigma sitting on the Zul'jin, Noel Sanka on the Rexar, Sailwater sitting on that Jaina, and Heroes Plifix on the Brightwing. Heroes Plifix. That's, I don't know. I'm going to say that's as best I can do. All right, and so now it's pretty much the same thing, same story as last time, but reversed. The side of Nature's Cure, they're going to be one of the ones picking out the fight. Misha getting a little bit low here. Jaina trying to get that zoning potential, keep Misha alive a little bit longer, but Zul'jin wanting to get his stacks in and get him in early. And the side of Lurk Patrol, they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead and attack us a little bit on the Zul'jin. Zul'jin getting those stacks started. But, you know, ooh, Ektar getting stunned right in the middle of the blizzard of Jaina, but he does land the boot back onto the Zul'jin. Zul'jin gets booped into his own team. Kael'thas bombs are starting to spread. J-Ruck is having to run. Will he be able to get himself out? Looks like he should be okay. Ektar got himself a little low. Brightwing using the passive to get him topped off, but nice pickup, early first blood by Lurk Patrol there, and Ektar being very aggressive on this Lucio, trying to get this Rexar crowd controlled. He will go down. That's a massive amount of crowd control coming out from the Lucio and the Kael'thas. Ektar getting stunned at by the Uther. Unfortunately, he's got no follow-up damage there, so Ektar gonna be able to get himself away, and it's really fun watching these really high-level Lucios using the wall, using the boops, using that passive to be able to make plays for the opposing team, being able to get that crossfade set up just perfectly that they can do those kinds of plays and set everything up. So, you know, seeing this high-level Lucio plays is always a joy to see, but we do see this bottom camp being picked up by the side of Lurk Patrol, getting themselves out to a nice early half-level lead here in game number 2. Nice start from Lurk Patrol, you know, being down one game, trying to get themselves back in it. Brightwing, we're going to see just kind of soaking out this mid lane. She needs to be a little bit careful here. Ektar, oh, unfortunately misses the boop, and the polymorph goes down onto the Johanna, so Brightwing not worried at all, getting herself to safety. Rexar going to clear out anything that he can in this bot lane. We do see the Jaina rotating down. They're looking like they're wanting to set up some sort of play, but Jaina getting dismounted, getting herself very low. Kael'thas doing as much damage as she can. Zarya landing one of those grab bombs, or not grab bombs, but just the auto attacks there, and that is going to be a kill coming out onto the Jaina. Sorry, that was a Q. That wasn't an auto attack. What am I talking about? Ektar. I mean, I'm sitting here like watching Ektar play like this entire first half of the game, or first 2 minutes of the game at quarter health, and like, okay, maybe he's gonna die this time, but I'm just done worrying about Ektar. He's playing just well, so he's gonna keep himself safe. He can play as aggressive as he wants, and I won't start worrying about him, because look at this. Like, he is all in this Uther's face. That poor Uther's just getting hit by Sound Blast after Sound Blast. No, the camp being picked up by the side of Nature's Cure. They will get this camp finished. Jaina electing to go not for the oh no, she did go for the club. Sorry, the Finger Frost. So she will, once she's able to get those quests done, get you know, the extra 10% bonus onto any target that's affected by her frost. Which will, you know, provide a pretty good substantial bonus spike, especially when paired with that Arcane Intellect. And this is a combo that I'm really starting to like on Jaina. I'm glad there's other Jainas picking that up as well. We see this camp getting absolute pressure in the top lane, and the entire team just electing, you know what, we got a camp, we can get an easy fort. The pretty much the entire side of Lurk Patrol, they're going for this first objective. Diva now rotating her out, but the whole side of Nature's Cure, they know they don't have the strongest early game yet with Jaina and Zul'jin not being stacked up, and so they're just like, you know what, we got this camp, we've got camp advantage, we're just going to go push this top lane and trade off here, and they will be able to get this completely unearthed. Diva's going to try to use the mech to get some damage down, but that's already gone. It's a Frozen Punisher in the bot lane, so this should be able to be responded to fairly evenly, because this Punisher will start turning everything off here. But since he didn't get hopped over, his first Frost passive did go down onto the towers, and so the tower is going to get these shots. Now the towers will get turned off because of the freezing, and the Punisher will start to get some damage down. Jumps over on to the Brightwing and the Zul'jin, but they're able to get themselves away. This bottom fort will be traded out, and so it's a top fort for bottom fort trade for both teams. But Uther getting booped back by the Lucio there. Rexar getting Misha out of a sticky situation. Nobody's following the Punisher, so the Punisher's just like, dude, I'm landing all these stuns and nobody's here to follow up on them. And that's okay. Uther looking like he's wanting to potentially pick a fight. He's trying to hunt down this Lucio. He really wants to kill this Lucio. This Lucio is just like delicious for him. He's always, the Lucio's baiting him in all the time, and unfortunately getting himself, well, fortunately for the Lucio, getting himself away. But we do see a 5-man rotation. Full commitment. D.Va's not down here, so this is a great rotation by Nature's Cure. They're looking to get back on even ground. They do pick out the Kael'thas really easily. We do see this fight over the bottom. That is a trade onto the Jaina. Rexar getting himself fairly low as well, trying to get himself away. Zarya almost all the way gone. Will go down. Lucio are trying to just buy anytime he can, trying to knock people off, but Zul'jin putting down, getting himself stacked up, and this is huge for the side of Nature Way. Zul'jin just got 3 kills, and he is loving the stacks that he was just able to pick up. D.Va trying to get that soak in the passive lane, but nice recognition from Nature's Cure to see that the D.Va was all the way in the top lane, wasn't coming down. They're like, guys, if they're at this bottom camp, we go hard. We're going to be able to get some kills here in a 5v4, and you know, getting themselves, you know, closing that gap. It was a 4-0 game, and now it's 4-3. The experience is pretty much nullified at this point. Able to get themselves to 2 camps, really. And nice comeback by Nature's Cure there, evening everything up right before 10s come online and the second Punisher comes out. It'll be interesting to see when we get these 10s coming online. Jaina getting knocked up by the Kael'thas with the Gravity Lapse, but having to get herself away. Nice little spray coming out of the variant with like, what the heck are you doing, man? Misha getting herself fairly low there, trying to get herself out. Ring of Frost does go down, but everybody's right in the middle. Oh no, the Lucio was rooted, Hector, I believed, but he got rooted out by the Ring of Frost. Phoenix being thrown down, but that's a nice pickup. High 5 being picked up by the Lucio there, but wasn't able to use it in time to save himself on the Ring of Frost. And that is another pick coming out of Nature's Cure. They're picking up the opposing team's camp. And again, they came from battle level down to now they've got themselves a nice quarter level lead here. Looking at some of these ultimates real quick on the side of Lurk Patrol, sorry. We do see the Phoenix coming out, Expulsion Zone coming out of the Zarya, the High 5 coming from the Lucio, Micro Missiles coming out from the D.Va, and the Blessed Shield coming out from the Johanna. Zarya going in, seeing if she can get some of this crowd control. Is she going to put down the Dispersal Field? She doesn't quite yet, still holding on to it. They're trying to get a pick onto this Brightwing. There it goes down, but unfortunately it just doesn't land on anybody that she was trying to get picked off there. And so that's, thankfully it's a short cooldown. It will be back up pretty quickly here, but it's a 5v5 situation now. Both teams sitting in the bot lane. Top lane is pushing in favor. That's a nice pick. Nice stun by the Uther. Follow up from the Misha, picking off the Lucio there. A return from the Kael'thas onto the Uther there. Misha going down as well. And so that is a nice return pick from Lurk Patrol, evening out the kills. Now have control due to Misha being down, you know, slight control over the objective right now and able to get themselves into this mid lane. So, you know, the Uther did a great pick onto the Lucio, landing the stun and the follow-up stun from the Misha, but, you know, nice turnaround, you know, pretty much Kael'thas damage, which we knew this was going to be a hyper carry Kael'thas game. Kael'thas putting down some serious pain and getting that kill secured for the team. Misha getting the stun onto the Zarya. Zarya's shield is already gone. She has no way to get herself away. High 5 pop to get her out of sticky situation there. A stun going onto the Kael'thas in the back. High 5 being popped on to the Kael'thas. Misha trying to get herself away. The Johanna is sitting fairly low. Nice stun by the Uther onto 3 members. Kael'thas is going to go down, and Kael'thas did, you know, it's important to note here, Kael'thas went with that Convection at level 1, and that just got negated. He wasn't done with his stacks yet. Uther recognizing that, getting in, getting that stun, and they were able to get that kill. Thankfully, the side of Lurk Patrol was able to pick up this Punisher, and so this Punisher will create some pressure in the mid lane. They have 3 members to push with it. Unfortunately, it's that Mortar Punisher, the least worrisome of the Punishers. Fujin just raiding with a party of 12. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, Fujin. Love the game that you were able to cast for us. I only got to watch the first game, but we are in game 2 for those joining us. Nature's Cure put out a pretty decisive, dominating game 1. Lurk Patrol coming out with a pretty strong draft here in game 2, executing it well. They're going with this hyper carry Kael'thas kind of game, using the Zarya to help keep them alive. As long as Kael'thas stays alive, they're able to get the wins. But Zul'jin getting caught out. The dispersal field goes down, knocking that Zul'jin back. He can't go anywhere. Brightwing blinking in. Nice bomb by the Kael'thas, getting 4 members with the Flame Strike, but the Brightwing able to get herself away, and now Johanna having to run. She does not have Iron Skin available. Will she get her away? She does not. but they do trade out the Zul'jin in return. Misha trying to get something down. Ring of Frost going down, lands onto the Zarya, but Jaina, that's all she was able to hit. Kael'thas putting down this damage. Jaina getting herself away. D.Va is now here. D.Va to the rescue. Will she be able to get in time? They do not hit with the ultimate. She will have that rocket up soon. She will be able to get herself in. Here she comes. Get the Uther with the gravity lapse. The stun goes down from the Uther into 2 members. Lucio having to get himself away. Uther, oh, he does go down. It did hit 2 members with the Brightwing, and so Brightwing trying to use the blink heal to save Uther, was not able to. Misha being that just bully of a bear, making sure that nobody else goes down, and that was a nice, again, pickup by Lurk Patrol there. Looked like they were in a pretty rough spot for a second, but they were able to get that counter kill and then kind of push it. They had a lot of room of real estate to work in this bot lane to see if they could get a second kill there. Able to get it, get a little bit of a staggered death, get themselves back in the lead. This has been a very back and forth game 2 going here between these two teams. Johanna trying to get that pick. The Spurs field goes down, but it doesn't hit the Zul'jin in the right direction, so Lucio just has to get himself away. Thankfully, he's got that high five. Any crowd control that comes down, he's just like, nope, I'm good. And Rexar getting himself out of that situation with the Misha. But D.Va continuing to soak this top lane up. D.Va has pretty much been camped out in this top lane, and that is what allowed Nature's Cure to be a little more aggressive on those rotations. And we see them yet again being aggressive, going and stealing this camp, knowing that the D.Va is in the top lane, and Kael'thas just, he has to get out. Like, there's nothing he can do. Sorry, I wanted to check out the damage right now. We got Kael'thas sitting at about 40k damage, so the Zul'jin sitting at about 36. Zul'jin finally getting that 30 stack finished off just a few seconds ago. So now Zul'jin will be able to pump out a little bit more damage. Jaina getting that online as well. So Jaina got her quest completed. She's got a little bit more damage. She's almost done with the ice block. Kael'thas going with that convection. He's already back up to 15 stacks, so he's got to be a little more careful this second time around and hopefully get that finished to be able to match the damage that is now coming out from the Zul'jin and the Jaina here. You know, I predicted a water elemental game out of the Jaina. You know, the only stipulation I put on that is if Uther decided to go with the Divine Storm, which he did. So, you know, picking up the Divine Storm, Uther can land those multiple man stuns, and Jaina has an easy Ring of Frost to land on top of it. So we do see the CC coming out from the side of Nature's Cure. They're able to get more than what I originally thought they may have been able to, but we do see them setting up a nice little gank here. The stun goes down to the Johanna. She does pop the Iron Skin. Ring of Frost goes down. Doesn't land onto anybody. D.Va just tanked it up. Uther landing a stun only onto the Johanna, but we do see Brightwing in a very bad situation. The field goes down. Brightwing, you cannot go that way, and that will be a dead Brightwing. So nice pickup by Lurk Patrol. Brightwing, I don't know how she got there, but she did, and I think she teleported in and ran through, but Johanna getting stunned out by the Misha in the middle of that blizzard from Jaina there, and the Zul'jin putting down some serious pain on top of that. So everybody, you know, Lucio is 16 now. He should be able to heal everybody up, no problem. It is a 5v4 situation. Kael'thas getting stunned out by Misha here, having to run. Kael'thas does finish the convection, so now he'll be able to put out damage, gets that Misha up in the air, and we do see Uther sitting fairly low, but nice two-man stun by the Misha. Johanna popping the Iron Skin, getting herself out. Zarya's shield able to keep herself alive, but look at everybody on the side of red is very, very healthy. Blue is sitting very low. Kael'thas getting caught out. The root goes down from the Jaina level 16 talent, and that is going to be a kill. Traded back for the Uther. Misha jumping in, getting the Jaina, or Johanna there, excuse me, and this is coming out very well for Nature's Cure. They like this. Brightwing able to get herself phase shifted in, and now, ooh, nice root down onto the Lucio. Jaina doing some work here in the late game, which I expected to come out of the Jaina. Once we got to that level 16 talent, we were able to get that Numbing Blast, or Numbing Blast. Goodness gracious, Numbing Blast, able to get those roots off, and those roots are huge. I thought she would potentially pair that with the Frost Elemental at 20 to be able to just crowd control the entire enemy team, and if you did it with the Icy Veins, but she's going for that bigger cast range, trying to play a little safer on the Jaina due to the fact that they have so much dive with the D.Va and the Johanna being able to put out that Blessed Shield. So we are, you know, the Jaina is going to start coming on. We're going to see the damage coming out. She did get that Frostbite, that level 1 talent finished off, her passive finished off, so she will have the Ice Block available to her now, and she will be able to start putting out some serious damage in this late game. Assuming she's able to land these Ring of Frost, which so far she's been able to land quite a few. So we see, I mean, it's pretty much even Steven as far as the experience goes. Kills are 9 apiece. The experience is pretty minimal there, but we do see an Arcane Punisher, which is the more favorable damaging Punisher. It's not as great as a Frozen, But, you know, the Arcane Punisher is going to be able to put some damage down and some zoning potential down as well with those beams that he's able to put down. He does jump over. Nice Iron Skin from Johanna, able to pull him away. The wall does go down. Nice pickup from the wall. The Phoenix goes out to kind of zone everybody off while they try to work this Punisher down. The wall will go down. It's a matter of what this second jump will do, and we're looking at what is going to happen with this second jump. He jumps over onto the Diva. Kael'thas going in trying to land any kind of stuns or any kind of damage that he can. But unfortunately, he did not hit anybody. Nice Blizzard coming down from the Jaina, hitting on 3 members. And Uther, unfortunately, is taking a little bit of damage. Nice Dispersal Wheel coming down from the Zarya. Uther having to run his way. Misha there to provide the assistance. Attaboy. And that is going to be pretty much everybody backing themselves away. Kael'thas is trying to do everything he can, you know, being the main source of damage coming out. He does try. He's got that convection finish. He will be able to put some down. Lucio trying to make some sort of play happen there, but unfortunately, it's just not connecting. Kael'thas has to be very careful having that frost on him. Jaina looking like he wants to pick up anything they can. Crushing Air rating with a party of 9. Welcome to all those coming in. This is a very close game, too, back and forth between these two teams. The stun landing onto the Johanna there. Misha tanking up a lot, and this Misha play has actually been pretty fantastic. Ektar doing all he can on the Lucio to try and get any pick, but unfortunately, everybody on side of Nature's Cure is just so coordinated. They're like, nope, we're watching in case anybody gets knocked back by the Lucio. And so we're going to see both teams pretty much going back, waiting to soak up their 20s, and we'll see what the 20s are able to do for both teams. Sorry, I call it Dispersal Zone. It's actually Expulsion Zone. I just had to check that because I keep calling it Dispersal Zone. That's just what I've always called it. I don't know why, but it is called Expulsion Zone. So we will see both teams just trying to soak up all this experience. The map pressure is definitely in favor of the side of Nature's Cure. They've pretty much got that win condition top lane. If they ever get an advantageous fight, getting 3-4 kills, they're gonna just push top to win. So the side of Lurk Patrol, they've got to be aware of that. They've got to know that the possibility of that end game potential top lane. Ring of Frost goes down, lands onto 2. It lands onto the Lucio. Lucio was trying to be so aggressive there with the play under the Misha, and Jaina caught him. It's a nice Blessed Shield in return for the Jaina. She's putting down the bomb to zone everybody off. Uther's getting caught, but he will get himself out. Jaina is in a very aggressive position here, so Kael'thas, as long as you can put down your damage, you will be able to get this kill. Unfortunately, he cannot. They do not have their healers, so they have to be very, very careful here. They don't want to throw and stagger to let this game end. Now we see the side of Nature's Way. They recognize that the healer's not there. Diva is going to get stunned out by the Uther. That's going to be a second kill. Johanna, you've got to be super careful there. She's able to dodge a lot of the kill shots coming out, but that is 2 kills being picked up by Nature's Cure. And that is pretty, it's not the end of the world since they're pushing mid. As long as nobody dies here, Lucio will be up in 17 more seconds. They should be able to defend this keep, no problem. But yeah, the Jaina landing the Ring of Frost onto the Lucio, then he was pretty much fully exposed, was just devastating. If you're a Lurk Patrol fan out there. And so we're seeing, some of these plays, I guess that was just a blind Ring of Frost, like maybe I'll hit something there, because it looked like Misha went in to try and get a stun. She was trying to, catch everybody running away, but they all just stood their ground except Lucio. He took a step forward and his toes got a little frozen and he went down really quickly there. As late as this, the longer this game goes, as late as this game gets, Zul'jin is just enjoying this. Like we said, due to the Johanna, he's getting stacked up later. Last game ended at 14 minutes, and Zul'jin was at like 70 stacks. We're at 18 minutes now, and Zul'jin's only at 50, and that's purely just because the Johanna able to keep that Zul'jin blinded, denying a lot of the auto attack pressure there. But we do see Brightwing in that bot lane, going to be able to provide a lot of that pressure, that passive pressure. She'll be, called in when she's needed, but she's just going to try and soak as much as she can. She's just kind of waiting to get the all clear. And here she is. She's here with the Zul'jin. Johanna going in, not able to land anything. The Expulsion Zone landing, 3-man stun from the Misha up in that top lane. Everybody's down here. Johanna able to group everybody, all the damage with the Brightwing up. The it's a Frozen Punisher is picked up. Zul'jin going up for a ride from the Gravity Lapse of the Kael'thas. The Johanna getting caught out by the Misha there, does pop the Iron Skin, is able to get herself away. Nice. Oh, but the Lucio getting caught again. Oh, he gets himself just out of his sticky situations. Already getting stunned out by the Frozen Punisher there. It looked like 3 bad situations there for Lurk Patrol, and they were able to get themselves out of all 3. So well done by Lurk Patrol. Almost almost ending the game there from Nature's Cure, but not quite there. Cena pops over onto the D.Va, high five pops so that they can just pull this Punisher back and be able to kill it. They may not get another keep. You know, this Punisher's already down to about half health. If the entire side of Nature's Cure gets forward, maybe they'll be able to do it, but they're really scared of that Johanna right now. You know, with that beefy front line that the side of Lurk Patrol has pulled out here in game number 2. But this keep is going to go down. They pulled it to the top instead of the bottom, so that could have been 2 keeps there. Electing to, you know, thankfully the Punisher went back to the previously scheduled program there and did not go and give a few hits to that top keep, because that could have been 2 keeps potentially. This Punisher will go down. Everybody on Lurk Patrol now going, or sorry, Nature's Way. Now that they're the red team, I'm sorry, they've been flipping back and forth here, but the red team is going down, going to pick up this fort in the bottom lane. They're going to have passive pressure in all 3 lanes, especially in that mid lane. So Lurk Patrol, they're back up against the ropes, but they're not out of it. They've pulled out a couple fights here, especially in that early mid game, you know, right around those level 10s when they came online. They were very definitively in the lead. And then Nature's Cure, sorry, just found different ways to get themselves back into this game. And we're seeing, you know, pretty much going to come down to this last Punisher fight, depending. It's in the top lane, so, you know, there's no potential. The bottom, maybe it's going to be a hard reach, and they don't have the best burn, so there's no real backdoor potential coming out of Lurk Patrol right now. So as long as the entire side of Nature's Cure just plays past it, ooh, ace, nice check into the fog of war there. That is why you do not face check at all, especially in these late games. These 60-second death timers are just devastating, and so Ektar and Ace swap sides in the lobby. They should know better from. Yeah, they did. They swapped sides in game 1, so I had to switch it, and then they swapped back in game 2, so I had to switch it again. Oh man, they were trolling the caster hard there, but we got it all figured out. Everything is now set underway. We're good to go. They're pushing. Maybe in this bot lane, maybe trying to set up that second gank again. Try these silly bush ganks one more time. They do catch the Johanna. She does pop the Iron Skin. It will be coming down. Uther's trying to get there. He does catch the Kayle Toss. Is there going to be a follow-up? He does the double stun onto the Kayle Toss. Kayle Toss trying to run. D.Va getting a nice zoning bomb. Ooh, Jaina taking a lot of damage in that. She's popping the stasis, trying to get herself out. Ring of Frost going down. Johanna will trade her life down. Uther trying to get himself out. They do have Johanna. Uther trading his life. He will not come back. No, he will come back. Sorry. No, he will not come back. That's unfortunate. So Uther will not come back, so that's a 1-for-1 trade there coming out from the side. Oh, but Lucio's so far forward. Does pop the high five. The Zarya trying to get herself away. This Rexar is just doing so much work with the Misha right now. Like, if anybody... Oh, my God. I thought Jaina had him there. Lucio able to get himself up, but the Kayle Toss trying to save the Lucio, ends up trading his life, and that's a big kill. That's the main source of damage being killed on the side of Lurk Patrol. I don't think they can core here. They can go pick up this top keep for sure. They do have minions pushing in the bot lane, so they should be able to get that as well. This is definitely a top keep. I just, without having that front line or that healing potential with the Uther, I think it's a risky play to, and they do have the win potential open. Kayle Toss ain't online for 42 more seconds, but they are pushing in here. They're looking like they may want to try and potentially end this. Ace is doing everything he can on the Zarya to make sure that doesn't happen, getting the Zul'jin out of here. People are backing off. Jaina's like, I'm out of here. No, wait, I'm coming back. I'm out of here. No, wait, I'm coming back. Now she's going across through the front. A little bit of a risky path, but Lucio, you know, if this was early game, Lucio would have definitely gone for it. This late game, Jaina number 6 with level 16 online. I mean, Jaina can quickly turn around, throw a QE down, and Lucio is going to be toast. So Lucio smartly backing off there. And we're pretty much coming down to this is going to decide what happens in this game. The side of Nature's Cure, they're going for the camp instead of trying to get an early start on this, giving the Kayle Toss time to get back here, potentially get a defense. They're not going to go defend this bottom because they know, you know, what's a third keep when this will end the game? So they're gonna go and try and end. This won't end the game for them at all, but they're gonna try and see if they can get a good defense here. So we got Ace sitting on the Zarya in the bushes, looking like he's trying to pick something off. Uther being that aggressive champion, the distortion zone goes down, the expulsion goes down. Uther getting caught out, getting crowd controlled by the Kayle Toss there. Nice pickup. Ooh, this Ring of Frost is gonna be huge. Lucio getting stunned out, Kayle Toss getting stunned out, but Lucio able to just heal everybody back up with those level 16. That bottom keep was picked up. And so now we got all keeps down on the side of Lurk Patrol. They are providing this defense. Misha getting just banged on there, but not able to get killed. This bear just will not die. Zul'jin basically face tanking everybody, saying, I dare you. I've got so much damage here. D.Va, Lucio thankfully is in that healing mode. Kael'thas pathing a little aggressively there, and Zul'jin smartly recognizing that is going to go in and trying to get some damage down onto that Kael'thas. The Kael'thas and the Jaina are doing a great job at being able to put that damage down. D.Va trying to zone everybody off with that mech. But the Jaina and the Zul'jin are both being very safe here, and smartly so. The Zul'jin does get knocked back by the Condemn. They're just buying time. Oh no, Johanna getting stunned out there and will go down. That's a nice pickup. They're trying to get this boss, because if they can pick up this boss, it was a good trade back for the Zul'jin. Can they get this? They're at 39. 40, the core is sitting at 92% health. Everybody on Nature's Way is just trying to make sure that they can buy time. Rexar trading his Misha Bear away is going to protect, but look at this core. This core is getting shot, and if nobody gets back here, like, it's going to be game. Jaina's like, I'm on my way. See ya. I'm going to go finish this game. This is going to do nothing. These two members need to back. Kael'thas can't do this by himself when Jaina's coming in. He doesn't know that Jaina's here yet, but now Jaina's coming in with the Brightwing. Kael'thas is rooted out there. The Blizzard going to do so much damage. Ring of Frost going down, making sure the Kael'thas, he pops the Phoenix out to do everything he can. Zarya and D.Va now starting to get back there. The core is at 43, 42. Brightwing getting fairly low, gets the blink kill away. D.Va is back as well. Johanna will be up in 16 seconds, but this is not enough damage to end the core. Meanwhile, we got Dude and Arcane Punisher in the top lane here. They are looking like they're potentially trying to finish. Zarya should be okay here as long as she's able to pop the Unstoppable, gets the expulsion zone, but it does not get anybody away. These minions have to get dealt with. Luther landing a great stun. That is going to be a kill. D.Va doing everything she can. Johanna is here. These minions still need to get hit. They're not getting hit. These minions need to get hit. They're not getting hit. And they're trying to pick this fight. And ultimately, the Siege minions do end this game. GG's coming out. Game number 2 going to Nature's Cure. Just able to get enough map pressure that they could push in and just delay. And I mean, that was a fantastic example, again, for people who, looking at these higher divisions on how to just delay an objective for so long that all of your waves can crash in. They got so much value, even without their healer. The Zul'jin and the Jaina played that so well, protecting that top objective and staying safe so the Johanna, the D.Va, and the Zarya, none of them could get close enough. And eventually whittling away, waiting for that Kael'thas to step out of line. And once he stepped out, bam, they got on him and they killed him. So great patience coming out from Nature's Cure there. Let me see if I can get somebody on Nature's Cure, I believe. Hold on one second. I can get an interview. Hang tight, everyone. I'm going to see what I can get. I believe Sailwater is their captain, the Jaina player. Let me double check, get everybody in here. Look at those stats, though. Look at the damage that came out. I mean, Kael'thas, we knew it was a hyper carry Kael'thas, putting out 120k. It's a pretty late game, 25-minute game, so, the numbers would get up there. Zul'jin putting out 145,000. But that just makes you see that, like, the 13, 14-minute game that happened earlier, where the Zul'jin put out 80k damage, like, that Zul'jin would have just been through the roof in damage if that game went 25. So that was awesome to see. I'm getting a yes from Sailwater. We're going to get an interview here. Hold on. Let me make sure I can get to a lobby that is available. He's in lobby 1. I'm going to jump in there, and we're going to get this interview going. Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on the 2-0 victory there.
Oh, thank you.
This is
It was a fun.
Sorry.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a blast to cast. For everybody at home, this is Sailwater. This is the captain of Nature's Cure. I accidentally called you guys Nature's Way. I'm hungry, and so I kept thinking it was on the mind. But this is Nature's Cure, coming out with a 2-0 victory. Yeah, have you guys had the opportunity? Tell us a little bit about your team. I don't know a ton about your team. Shame on me, but I've seen a couple of you guys in Storm League. A little bit of your history. Have you guys played Lurk Patrol before? Some of those bans looked like they were target bans.
So after we played our match last week, and the team was like, "Yeah, we scouted them by looking at their hero's profile," I was just like, "Well, if other people are doing that, it might not be a bad idea." Also, one of the guys have a sentence saying, "Might have one trick." So if they're posting that that's their favorite character to play, I figured it might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, to get rid of that one.
As a good Maiev is really hard to deal with. It doesn't matter how good you are at playing. A good Maiev can ruin a lot of things.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said when that first Maev ban came out. I was like, anytime there's a Maev ban, I'm like, it's just there's got to be a good Maev because Maev is just one of the just worst things in the world to deal with when it's in the hands of a good player. So
I
much play. But game one, you guys pick Garden of Terror. That's a new map in the rotation here, being replaced, or Hanamura Temple being replaced by Garden of Terror. Is it something you guys like you've practiced and you're like, hey, we're feeling confident in Garden of Terror, or was it like, hey, this is a new map, why not try it and see what happens?
well, honestly, what I did, since I'm a bit of a stats person, we like big maps,
Hmm.
and if I was looking at our win rates of us as individual players, and all of us have a pretty good win rate on that map. That's
Okay.
also a really fun map to play. It has a bunch of camps. It has lots of bushes, so it's good to like jump out of things on people. I'm going to mention Ace when I was laning against him in bottom lane. I figured he was hanging out in the bottom area repeatedly, and like
Right.
I think that's what makes that map fun to play. So that's
Just
pretty much what
hanging in the bushes waiting. And
lots of
then
bush ganks.
yeah, you were Illidan game one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So the was Illidan always? It was the last pick. Was it the plan all along? Because it looked like you guys were setting up. You had the Anduin, the Johanna, the Zul'jin. And it was like, look at this combination we got coming out. Then they picked up the Alarak, and we were just like, all right, I'm going Illidan into this. Or where was it just like this? You know what? I want to just dive on their back line with the Hunt and do a nice little light bomb.
Um. Well, one thing that we've been practicing is light bomb on Illidan. Just because battered assault with light bomb means I'm going to get like 2 to 3 kills. I was incredibly nervous during that game though,
Mhm.
so I didn't play too well. Um, I've I've played 1,000 games of Illidan.
Just
So
very
our
comfortable on
team
Illidan.
was our team was like, you know what? You're the only person crazy enough to play Illidan into like an entire team that would like wreck most people.
Yeah,
So
I was
that
going
was
to
the
talk about the
reasoning.
comps a little bit, but somebody in chat beat me to it, and I got to throw it in there. They want to know question: were you just feeling very bold going into a APOC blind Artanis with the Illidan, and you're like, "Ah, I don't worry about them, I got this, or were you like, I'm super aware of my positioning. I've played enough Illidan that I can work around that crazy amount of CC that they can throw down on an Illidan.
It's pretty much the second option.
I'm just really good at Illidan, guys. Don't give me Illidan.
Well,
But
if people want to ban out Illidan, I'm totally okay with it. I'll just play something
I was
else.
gonna say that leaves a lot more options on the table for sure. But I mean, it seemed like in that game when you guys felt pretty comfortable. There's the small hiccups here and there, but by and large, for the most part, you guys, once you got your foot on the gas pedal, you really never let go. The Hogger seemed to just provide a lot of massive value, delaying their backline, and then just the front line with the Johanna just let Zul'jin stack for days. I mean, I think he ended with like 80 stacks in a 14-minute game. That was nuts.
Yeah, the main focus that we had was just get Zildjian stacks, the rest of us stay alive, and just be aggressive as possible. And we were communicating on comms really well. Like our chat, you would not be able to hear a pin drop, essentially.
Awesome. So transitioning out of game one into game two, they went first pick again, and you
Mhm.
guys decided to go take us to Infernal Shrines. Classic Heroes map for sure. Um, Knowing they had first pick, I mean, you knew you weren't going to get that Zul'jin Johanna Hogger combo a second game. Um, was and you guys, I believe you changed your ban from Rexar, or no, sorry, they changed their ban from Rexar. Because I was used to the bans and then I forgot you guys swapped teams again. So you guys double swapped on me, kind of deal. Um,
the,
but going to what you're thinking in that game too, and then I'm really curious. Like last pick, Jaina. I was wondering, I was like, man, there seems to be a couple other options that are better, and it didn't seem, outside of the. I figured the Uther was going to go the Storm with the Jaina to help you with the Ring of Frost if you're going Ring of Frost. But just talk about a little bit about the draft strategy in that game too, and then the Jaina pick at the end, which I was most curious about.
okay. Draft strategy that we had was as soon as they didn't ban out Rexar, we got really excited
Hmm.
because Null Sanaka, that's one of his favorite characters to play. So that was good offlaner, good team fight. Um, allows for good vision in the tight spaces because, like you send Misha off one way, put Rexar in other spots, and then the rest of the team fills in the rest of the area. So then it's like hacks. You have so much vision in a map that does has lots of blind spots.
Hmm.
The Zarya player kept throwing Qs off into the bush, which was really good on them. Um, and then the other idea behind the strat was we were debating between which ranged assassin to use sort of like a carry again.
Hmm.
Um, and then we decided double support against the Johanna Diva would be the best option. So keep the main damage alive. And then I was thinking of going with a new rack or another bruiser with some stuns, and it would have just been a big wall
Yeah.
of support and people in front. But then I decided on Jaina just mainly all because Jaina has slows.
Mhm.
Um, Blizzard, since the Blizzard talent got buffed, it's really good for just slowing people down, area denial, and then I usually take the increased damage as X-Team, but I switch to Roots because there's a Lucio, and Lucios are slippery,
Mhm.
and when you have an AoE thing that roots people, that makes life
A lot easier.
a lot easier, and also the other team hopefully was fearing the fact that they might get rooted by me and then everyone else on the team.
I was curious if you went the route. I mean, I typically prefer the route, but I was curious if you went it just because you were recognizing the Lucio was playing very aggressively in the early and mid game, and he was getting his team off to a pretty good start. So I was wondering if that was like it wasn't planned, but I wanted to switch to it just to catch that Lucio, in one of those aggressive rotations, which you did, and you actually landed a Ring of Frost on him in the bot lane fight, which really kind of just started tipping the game into your guys' favor. Um, so you definitely made me a believer of the Jaina with that comp.
Sweet.
Uh, but yeah, and so game two, the last question I have, like game two, they got the early, like really, really early pick into the on the Uther in that last objective fight, in the top over the top objective, and you guys stayed in the 4v5 with the Zul'jin, Rexar, Jaina, and Brightwing to kind of just whittle them down and see if you could, delay as long as possible. Was that always the plan? Was it just like delay, 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 or you actually? It ended up working out that you guys got several kills in it, but was it just like a delay call, or were you trying to actually win a fight?
We were trying to delay so Zildjian could run off to the core to finish the core off, and we were purposely going to lead the Punisher.
Okay.
Um, or the other idea was our Zul'jin backs, they back off, we take the Punisher, we end game. So it was that was the original call. But then they caught Uther out because they came barreling at us, and that was the right thing for them to do. They almost got all of us with the flame strike and the living bomb getting spread around. Um, and then since we had the waves pushing up so far, we made another call to try and poke him down and hold him there as long as possible because then they would have to make a decision yet again, try and get objective and win the game that way or go back and defend core. And then when they got another couple kills, um, we made the decision to go run the core.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what else happened in that fight. There was a lot of things going
It,
on.
yeah, it was a very, very chaotic end, and it was exciting to see because um, it looked like by all intents and purposes, like they got the pick onto the Uther, and the Uther didn't have the return at level 20. So we were like, oh, okay, well, that's a great pick for them. But you guys had siege minions in the bot lane, so I was wondering if it was just like, let's just delay as long as we possibly can. But then you and Zul'jin just refused to go down, and he ended up getting a couple kills. So I'm like, are they actually trying to like team fight him and win right here? And then, as you said, kind of smack back and forth, and you guys made a core call that it was like just like that play. It was like back and forth, but ultimately coming out in your guys' favor, able to get those siege top lane siege minions to finish the job for y'all. Um, So yeah, and that was game two. So GG's on both these games. Real quick, why don't you tell me who you think your team MVP was for the series?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would have to say Heroes Flicks or J Ruckus.
Okay.
If I have to make the executive decision, I would have to say JR.
Okay.
Because we threw him on a character he wasn't even super comfy on, and we're like, "You got this, man."
And yeah, I mean, he had a pretty. I mean, look, I don't remember who he played in game one, but in game two, he was on point with a lot of those D storms, and he it seemed like he was just ready and waiting for Kael'thas to just take one bad step forward, and he was on him, like just locked him down permanently.
It
So
was really exciting.
yeah, he was good. But this this was your guys' second game, right?
Yep,
Okay,
official
so
second game.
official second game, awesome. So, looking forward. I believe you're 1-1 now. Looking forward to week three, and I believe it's double round robin. So you should see this team again, hopefully in the
Hmm.
not too distant future. But let me end with. It seemed like you guys had a lot of fan support in here. Both teams had a lot of fan support in here. So any shout outs you want to give to Twitch, the floor is yours. I'll just let you have at it for a little bit.
Well, I haven't looked at to see who is watching today, but I would like to thank whoever did come to watch. It's actually really cool that people come to watch us play our matches, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for that one. I'm going to go back and watch the stream because I'm excited to just see what you were saying as a caster, because I like hearing thoughts from what other people are thinking, because information's always awesome.
Sure. Most of my stuff, I feel like I'm just rambling. Like, let's go. But the team fights, and I always love casting these upper division games because you guys, it's such a clean game. It's so fun to watch. And sometimes you pull out like crazy comps like Illidan and Alarak, who I'm like, "Ugh, I never get to cast Illidan or Alarak, and I get to see both of them in the same game. Like, this is awesome. So well, that's all the questions I have for you, Sailwater. Again, congratulations on the 2-0 domination victory here, and I look forward to watching you guys, if not getting a chance to catch you guys again in the not too distant future.
That would be awesome. There's one question I didn't answer. You had asked what the background of our team was, if you
Oh
wanted that
yes,
information.
yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. So our team, well, our team now is completely different. We used to play in a thing called the Nexus Raiders, and there's
Okay.
actually a few people who are playing in NGS who used to be part of that. So it's actually really exciting to see those people doing something else in a different league. Um, so myself and Noel Sanaka both played in like the Heroes Open Championships back in 2015, like
Oh
forever
wow.
ago.
Yeah.
We played in some of the pooled games, and then we switched over into playing Nexus Raiders, and then I knew a lot of my friends were playing in some sort of league, and then I went exploring when I was curious to see what is there for leagues to play in. And then from there, I just started asking around to my friends list, and then I put a broadcast message out saying, anyone want to come play and try out? And then we had a couple tryouts and then went from there. So the four of us have played together like in Storm League for like a couple seasons now,
Okay.
but we never took it like super seriously. And then since there's something to like play for or not even play for, just to play good players consistently, um, that was the major thing. So it's lots of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always awesome seeing like these teams like have a significant background, a group of people that have been playing together and taking it to a league like NGS and doing well in it, all the way up in Division A and coming out, like I say, coming out with a pretty decisive victory in this one. So excited to see what Nature's Cure has in store for us down the road. Maybe some more Illidan crazy games. Well, TBD. We'll keep the secret strats on the DL for now.
Secret
But
strats. All
yeah,
right.
alrighty. But yeah, thanks again, Sailwater. It was awesome talking to you, and congratulations again on your 2-0 victory.
Yes, thanks to you to Isaacs and for casting.
Oh, absolutely, my pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sailwater, captain of Nature's Cure, coming out, giving us a nice interview. That was everything I hoped it was going to be and more. Like, I love casting these matches. I got to cast Garden of Terror. I got to cast Alarak and Illidan. I got to cast Rexar. Like, got to see Azul'jin on each side, just going absolutely bananas. So that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. So going forward, with me, I've got a couple casts this week. Thankfully, I've got a lot more time in the evenings. I'm a later caster, unfortunately, since I'm on the West Coast, so I don't get to cast. I usually cast the late games. So if you're up late on the East Coast and you got nothing to do, come on over, drop a follow. It'll let you know when I'm casting. I've got a lot in store. I've got tomorrow. Let me pull up my schedule real quick so I can make sure I got all of this guys laid out for you guys. So tomorrow I've got my match, which may be I may throw in point of view stream for that one if it doesn't get picked up. And so that will be my team. And then later in the night, that night I am casting as well. I believe it's at 8 o'clock. Let me just double check on my calendar. Tuesday. I've got at 7:30. I'm going to Division E tomorrow night. I'll be casting Flint Tropics, who have yet to be casted, so it's going to be exciting. Versus Wood League Express in Division E at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And then on Wednesday, I haven't picked anything up for Wednesday yet. I'm looking at possibly getting Clouded Minds versus Lower Expectations. Same time, 7:30, 10:30 Eastern. That'll be a Division D game. A lot of games are picked up on Wednesday, and there's 21 games scheduled, so that's awesome to see. And then Thursday night, that's our big night for NGS, so I've got to pick up something there as well. And I believe that night I am casting at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern, another Division D matchup between Metapix and Private Potato. And that's all I have scheduled through now. So I got a match and then a cast tomorrow night, possible cast on Wednesday, and then a for sure cast on Thursday as well. So like I said, if you're interested in following some of this casting, drop a follow. Thanks for everybody who followed tonight. Thanks for everybody who was throwing out bits, the raids from Crush and Fujin. Absolutely appreciate it. I'm gonna double check, see if there's anybody still going. I believe there was a game that started a little after this one, so I'm gonna go rate it if it is. Let me see who is casting tonight. This is Monday night, not Tuesday night. Potentially, ooh, Jazz. Is she casting right now? She is. We've got. Oh, it's just started. Perfect. I'm gonna rate Jazz. She's got a best of three. She looks like a Division C between Bloodbath and Beyond and Regen Divine. So let's get you guys over to that one. That'll be a really fun one to. Let me make sure I spell her name right because I don't want to do this wrong. But I'm going to send us over to Jasline's channel for the end of that one. Thanks again, everybody. This has been Icex. Look forward to seeing you all in the Nexus in Storm League. Uh, yeah, have a fantastic night, and look forward to seeing you back here possibly tomorrow for another cast. So take care. Have a fantastic night, everyone.